guys, I get guys phoning me up all the time, especially little club matches and things. They say, how do you fish the Blakes, mate? Well, I really don't know how you like to fish, what your capabilities are, or how the fish are going to be feeding on a day, the time of the year, all sorts of things, different types of fish you want to catch. So I would much prefer to give you an idea of what the contours of the lakes are, where you're likely to find the fish, and you can make your own mind up yourself, because I think that's probably a better bit of information for you. So let me first of all just draw the lakes, and so you can see the shape of the lakes and how the bottom of the contours of the lakes are going to be. So here is Redbridge Lakes, and we've got a bowl like that. Okay, both lakes are pretty identical, and we've got an island in the middle of each lake like that, and on the island there's reeds come out like that on each island. There's little bays here like this all the way round, and on your bank you've got spits that come out like this all the way round. So when you draw your peg, you'll be either sitting there or there. Now you've got options, or you've got lily pads here. Okay. Now you've got options. On the end of the lake here is a little cage which I put in years ago to keep the fish somewhere safe, away from cormorants and things, and now they use it, they spawn around it and everything, so I've left them in. You don't necessarily get caught up in these cages, they're sort of round the back of the spit, so you'll be fishing out about there, and you'll find that that's about the deepest part of the lake, because the fish tend to live there. I think it's their front door, so if you need to, sometimes you can go in and fish inside their house and you'll catch them there. But be warned, they do go round the back of it, it's a bit awkward. You've also got a spot here where the lily pads are. Again, a little bit of cover, and it's a little bit of shallower water there. In the middle here is where you're going to likely to get more of your skimmers, because it's a nice flat bottom around this area. Or you can cast over. On late days you're going to get your carp here, not that there's many carp in this place at all. Lake Cuthbert, which is a match lake, you're going to catch your little crucian carp here, a few tench, skimmers, eyed, everything. Okay, so this is in the bay. Now let me explain to you a little bit about the bottom of the lake. So here's the bank where you'll be sitting, and the lake is pretty well been dug that shape. So that goes out to the island, okay? And what you've got to remember is that the lakes have got silt on them. Okay, like every lake, the lakes silt up. So from one bank to the other, and I'd say from about 8 metres out, 8 metres out either side, you'll start getting the silt quite thick. So if you're going to fish a feeder, if you're going to chuck a feeder out, you don't want to be chucking it in the middle of the lake, because you're going to drop it into 12 or 18 inches of silt, and unless you've got a long tail, you're going to, or your hook there, you're not going to get any bites. You're just going to be burying all your bait into the silt. So you're going to be fishing a feeder, you want to be chucking out to the far bank, okay, onto this hard bottom. It doesn't come up quite as acute as that, it's probably more that sort of thing, but it's a hard bottom. And that hard bottom finishes about there. So you're chucking your feeder out to the either in between the lines of the ends of these reeds. You can chuck right into the bay if you want to. Sometimes that's the only place you'll catch them. But to be honest, I reckon that the fish patrol around the lake like that. They're not going to be patrolling in and out and in and out and in and out. They're going to be patrolling just straight round across all these spits. So if you chuck your feeder along that line between there and there, about there, I reckon that's the spot to chuck the feeder. Okay, if you chuck it there, the fish can take you into the reeds there, take you into the reeds, they're in trouble. If you chuck it there and you hook a fish, they're going to be missing it either way. Okay, so you've got a bit more chance of getting your fish in there as well. I reckon that's your ex spot, be chucking a feeder. You can also chuck a waggler over there if you want to chuck a waggler over there. But so then on the inside, say this is where your deepest spot is. You can fish a pole there and you'll catch your skimmers, you catch your eyes, all sorts of things. I mean, there's loads of different fish in the lakes. You're going to catch your tench and your crucians and your skimmers here. Normally late on in the day you'll start catching off the lily pads. And it's worthwhile feeding a line out here as well. In the summer the fish will come up in the water here. You'll catch fish up in the water out in this area. So you've got loads and loads of options. It really depends on what sort of angler you are and how you like to fish it. So I think that's probably a better option. It explains to you what you've got and you can use your own knowledge to work out how you're going to approach it. There's lots of different silverfish in this lakes. Let's say you've got crucian carp and the gibble carp to about that big. Probably a 3 pounder is a real big one. Again, with bream, if you get a 3 pound bream, you've got a big one. Most of them are only sort of 8 ounces to a pound, pound and a half, that sort of size. The tench are about a pound and a half, 2 pounds. There's loads and loads and loads of roach, loads and loads of little rudd. There's even gudgeon, all sorts of things you're going to catch. So yeah, here's the fishery. That's what you got. Do the best you can. Good luck, lads.